Getting my game face on.
All right. This is the Buffalo Community Podcast, all about the greatest small town in the USA, the people in it, and how it all works together. I'm your host, Tyler Reiss. Sitting across from me is Mark Benzer, and we've got a really fun one for you today. A little different intro this morning.
Yeah, shaking things up a little bit.
Absolutely. Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
We got some exciting things on our table here.
Yeah.
But more exciting is our guest.
Yeah, absolutely. Excited to have with us, class of 1999, Buffalo High School.
Oh, gosh, another 99er.
I know, you are really famous for putting on.
I don't know.
I've seen quite a few.
When you're changing the world.
Yeah, right? I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
You guys did a lot because the world was supposed to end in 2000. So
I know.
might as well go out with a bang.
Look at us now.
But, yeah, so we have with us restaurant owner, chef, Kristi Varner.
Yep. Hi, pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming on, Kristi.
Restaurant owner to where?
It's called Gather. It is where the old Loaf and Ladle spot is on 200 Central Avenue. Suite 3, but that's...
Mm-hmm. You can't miss it.
Yeah.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss it.
Anybody who's spent any amount of time in this town knows the location.
Right.
Yeah.
And how long have you been open now?
Since October 24th.
October 24th.
Yep.
So
2020.
2020.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Right?
We can touch more on that later, but certainly a lot of buzz that I'm hearing and experiences that I've had at your restaurant, all very, very positive. Why don't you tell us a little bit about, maybe we'll go back and kind of give us some of your background and kind of how you got to be where you are today as the owner of Gather.
Well, I'll kind of go back and forth here, but I've been trying to own a restaurant for a very long time. I mean, probably a good 10 years. So outside of college, outside of St. Cloud State, I left. I was on my way to an English degree, and I left and went to the cities and decided to go to culinary school instead. And that was pretty much that. And so outside of culinary school, which I went to the Art Institute in Minneapolis, and that was a long time ago. I, worked around in the cities. I think one of my first jobs outside of culinary school that I felt like at the time was like, I've arrived, was I'd worked for Wolfgang Puck when he had his place in the Walker. And it was a teaching moment for sure. It was a lot of very long hours, but it was cool. Like, you got to work with like some really cool people. Like, we did a party that Prince was at, that Bjork was at one time, and like you get to start meeting cool people and stuff like that, and that was always beneficial because you're like, wow. It's, not that you get starstruck or anything like that, but it's like you like get to
But
cook,
you get starstruck
but
a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. So then, after the cities, I'd worked around a couple places in the cities, and then I decided to move to Portland, Oregon. So I wanted to cook out somewhere outside of Minneapolis, outside of Minnesota, where I've, been forever, my whole life. And I really learned a lot of stuff out there. Like, I just wanted to be somewhere where there was, fresh fish coming from wherever and different things. And I learned how to do a lot of different things. Like, we used to go clamming and crabbing all the time. And that's where I met my partner. Him and I, he was working in restaurants too out there, and we had met or whatever, and we also started mushroom foraging. So, and then when I moved back out here, I became a certified mushroom forager. So I used to sell to restaurants and stuff like that, and I still can. I just don't really do it that much, except for for myself and whatnot. So that's probably my favorite hobby that I've learned
tracking
out there.
down mushrooms.
Yeah.
Can I interject a fun story there?
Yeah.
So we had some morels pop up in our yard.
Sure.
And I'm not a huge mushroom fan.
Yeah.
But I understand that morels are kind of like
Yeah.
the cuisine where everybody's
sure.
looking for it.
Yeah.
And there was a ton. There was maybe a dozen of. We don't have a huge yard.
Yeah.
But we found a ton this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I snapped a picture of it. I said, "We have an invasive species. How can I get rid of this stuff?" And it was something like the 2,4-D's not working. Roundup's not working. And boy, did I hear it on
I'm
on
sure
Facebook.
you did.
Like, I'll come and grab them. Don't do that. Don't
I'm
do
sure.
that. And obviously, my wife's a mushroom fan.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, it was, if you want to get people razzed a little bit, say something blatantly stupid like, I'm going to cut these mushrooms down.
Also say Roundup. That'll get you going
That'll
too.
get it,
Anyway, so yeah, that's my little mushroom story.
I would imagine with kind of some of your initial experiences in the restaurant business, you kind of get, if you come out of that still wanting to own and operate a restaurant, I would say that's probably a pretty good indicator. You know, you mentioned long hours, and you mentioned that, I think, I would imagine, and you've probably seen this being in the industry, that people go into it thinking, hey, I like to cook.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you find out, like,
Yeah.
well, this is not about preparing a meal for 5 or 6 friends to come over and have,
for
like,
sure.
This is
Yeah.
sweating
Right.
and working and
Yeah.
hoping that it's still fun. And obviously you came out the other side and still wanted to own a restaurant.
Yeah. And at this point, it's been, almost 20 years. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's exactly it. You hear, I've always said that. I've always been like, someday I want to own a restaurant. And, people are like, mentors of mine are like, sure, whatever. And I'm like,
do I look happy?
Yeah.
Right.
And it is, it is long hours. Like I've worked in places where it's just, you just get to this point where it's just too much. Like you're just like, holy cow. And I think at the end of the day, like right now I'm somewhat experiencing like that space is really small and I have a very, very small staff and I kind of have it that way on purpose. Because eventually, I want to expand into different elements of, whatever, but like food truck, fancier dinners here and there, whatever, when things kind of cool out a little bit. But I think that at the end of the day, the most beneficial part that I can say, even as tired as I am, that I get to be my own boss. That's the part that really, like, nobody's screaming at me except for me.
Right.
So,
and it sometimes can be the worst.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm my own worst critic for sure. But like, I mean, and not to say that, not every chef is like, down your throat screaming at you or anything, or a restaurant owner or anything like that. But like, and I've certainly worked for wonderful ones. And it's just, you have to, there's a lot of elements to it. Like, especially when you are on the higher level of like an executive chef, like you have to deal, with your, your food costs and your, those kind of things are always like breathing down your neck a little bit, just making sure that everything's in line and stuff like that. So, and I've always wanted to have something small that, not that I don't have to worry about those things, because I certainly worry about all those things, but like I can kind of keep in charge of it a little bit easier.
Sure.
Yeah.
So.
What does Gather specialize in?
Well, basically, I didn't want to take away the element of what Loaf and Ladle was, because I think that was a really, really, really important part of the community, and it always has been, just having that soup and salad shop, sandwiches, and so I wanted to keep that, the idea behind that. So that's, kind of what it is soups and sandwiches. And then there's, I try to do as many baked goods as I can right now too, and keep that bakery case as full as I can. Sure. And just, I'm not doing anything really crazy or anything like, nothing too wacky for the community or anything like that. But I'm hoping to be able to do kind of like more fun things, I guess, that are a little fancier and maybe things that people haven't really heard of. When things kind of calm down after we can have, people coming in and sit down again, I want to do like multi-course, like fine dining dinners and stuff out of there. Just like maybe like once or twice a month, like not very often, because I know
like this is the event. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm putting on here, and it's going to be
and I would
max
sell it
50 people.
Not even like I would sell it as like an Eventbrite, and if 10 people come in, great. Then I can have that.
Please send the invite.
Yeah, right.
I want to be on that list.
Because then I can do cool things, like wild game. Like there's no place for that in a lunch spot right now, know. But like I want to be able to like do, handmade pastas and wild foraged products and stuff like that. And and maybe stuff with like truffles and foie gras and stuff like try to introduce that into the
Foie gras.
foie gras.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's the second time it's come up on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it's worthy sharing that again.
Oh, it's not a great. My
He's
wife
right.
and
It's
I
not a
didn't
great
know what
story.
it was. So we were down in Florida. There was a $28 hamburger on the menu.
Yeah.
We'll get this foie gras burger, please. And us being not quite as smart as we are now, we thought it was a portobello mushroom. So my wife doesn't eat mushrooms. She pulled it off and just ate it as a burger.
Yeah.
I mean, the entire reason that was a $28 hamburger was left sitting there on the plate.
Oh,
when we
did
walked
somebody
out.
say
So
something?
nobody said anything, and
A server
it was
didn't
just
say,
no.
hey, like,
Yeah, hey, like we could have just got you a hamburger, and it would have been like $12.
yeah,
So that's the foie gras.
Yeah.
So we always joke about that now of
Yeah.
anytime it comes up. So
I think it's a great one. You mentioned a little bit of a bakery.
yeah.
Let's kind of divert. We're still going to talk about you, but we asked people to send us some cookies so we can rate them.
Yeah.
And, we had, I think, everybody who's gave us something, my desk is completely filled with cookies right now. But we're going to rate these ones. And if we don't like them, people, thank you for submitting them, but please don't be hurt if they're not our favorite.
oh, we're gonna like them.
We're going to like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always so worried about offending.
When you,
Well, if they're good, then you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about
I
it.
felt pretty uncomfortable about this section of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
But coming in and seeing all of these beautiful creations, there's no way I'm not going to like them.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm going to take a picture here. Actually,
There's also no way I'm going to be able to eat
Yeah.
one of all of them.
well,
So,
yeah. So this afternoon, we each eat 12 cookies here.
Why are you so shaky?
Yeah, right.
Sugar.
Yeah, right.
I swear I'm not drunk. I have a sugar high right now. But, everybody's got
I'm gonna try that.
different names for these different ones. I think are we going to try them all like the same ones
Together?
at the same time?
Are we?
I don't know.
I say why not?
We sure can.
And then kind of give it that first one.
Yeah.
Right now, I don't know what these are called. I'm going to grab another plate here.
Well, they're a thumbprint.
A thumbprint? Mm-hmm. What is that? What is it crusted with? Kind of an oatmeal.
I believe it's pecans.
All right. We get the healthy fats from the pecans and
Most definitely.
solid cookie. I find that Christmas cookies they all kind of have a similar flavor with just little tiny variations.
A lot of almond extract that happens this time of year.
I think that's what I'm tasting right now. Yep.
Yeah.
I like
This
that.
is a delicious thumbprint for sure.
Are we rating these like 1 out of 10?
I'm not going to put a score on it. I think it's delicious.
Delicious. It's ranging from
Delicious
hey,
to, oh my
a cookie
gosh.
to that was the best cookie I've ever had.
Right.
I like that too.
Plus, I think there's something so magical about decorating Christmas cookies. Like, my son's older now, and that was one of our big things that we would do for Christmas is decorating Christmas cookies. And he's, he's past kind of Santa and all of that at this point, but one of the things that this year, just being so busy, you know, he had come to me and asked me, he was like, are we going to do Christmas cookies this year? And I was like, did you want to? And he was like, yeah. So actually we did them the other night with some friends of ours and their kids and just, you know.
How old is your son?
He's 11.
Does he get to help out around the restaurant a little bit? Kind of, 11's not very old, so
every opportunity to, but he won't.
Because he's smart.
I was like, hey, can you help me with some dishes? Come here and help me with some dishes. No.
So thumbprint, that's hitting me with a little bit of coconut too here as it kind of marinates.
I like it. Very good. I'm not a huge frosting fan, so I always kind of avoid that just a little bit. But Christmas crack has kind of been coming around the block here of like me recently hearing it. Now, who made it from your family?
My wife.
All right.
My daughter.
I think I'm going to grab one right here.
This is kind of the sweet and salty thing going on.
Yeah, and that's always
a big hit.
Yeah.
Christmas crack.
My sister makes this, and I do very much love it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge semi-sweet chocolate guy, which I love you, honey. They're good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you're the darker chocolate or the milk chocolate?
And I mean, sometimes milk chocolate gets to be too sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the solution is, but.
Well, I think it's eat 10 other cookies and you forget about it.
Yeah, right?
Sure.
I like that. You hit it right on the head, is that sweet and salty on there. Again, I'm probably only going to take bites of these because we have a few to get by.
That's true.
As we're kind of rinsing our palate with this nice Fairlife milk, brought to you by Fairlife.
Oh my God, that is hard to open.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Just make fun of me before this.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
I don't know. Probably, I really love fermenting things. So like making like sauerkrauts and like kimchis and stuff like that. And then, you know, we'll make like ramen. Like, not like top ramen, you know, like the real deal. Like
I make that like once or twice a week.
There's like 2 12-packs in my cabinet right now.
That's cuisine
for
that
sure.
kids love.
Well, while my kid's on Zoom calls all day long, I mean, that's pretty much what he cooks himself for lunch or what, unless he calls me. But I'm like,
yep.
But no, like the real deal, like ramen is.
I'm going to go with classic molasses next. I think everybody's got a variation of this. Again, thank you for everybody doing this.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple different ways of these molasses cookies. Sometimes they really snap, like a ginger snap. But let's see, is this a softer kind? I like that.
That's legit. And it's perfect because it has the crinkles.
Yep.
Just like it should.
That's how you know it's done.
Makes it official.
You can tell it because of the way it is. Yep.
Now, these are not everybody's cup of tea. Ginger cookies, some people, I think there are a lot of people out there who flat out hate them.
Sure.
And I can see. I can see it's a...
Yeah.
I think you either love them or you hate them or you think they're just okay.
Well, we had a little conversation before this about Christmas cookies in general. With everybody having their own platter of them, by about Christmas time, you kind of get burned out on them.
Oh, yeah.
And where we maybe think, maybe they're all a little bit overrated. I mean, I'm okay with having this conversation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, but 4 o'clock on Christmas Day, you're not going to pass up a little spritzer.
Sure.
It's just a little spritzer.
Yeah.
Spritzer. Do we have a spritzer here?
I don't think there are any spritz cookies. Shoot. Oh, wait. These are spritz cookies, aren't they?
Yes, those are. And I'm not going to pass it up right now. And, I mean, they're simple. I can't believe people take that time to decorate that stuff.
Right?
Shake it all over. Oh, wow.
That's the sugar
That's soft.
cookie, right? Or is it? What makes it a spritzer?
It's the. I'll probably get corrected on this, and I don't make a lot of spritz cookies, so I don't know. But the spritz cookie, I think what makes it a spritz cookie is the like
Stamp?
Yeah, not the stamp, but there's
Cookie cutter?
it's like a press. Like it presses out the shape.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That was good.
You're gonna
I liked it. It
It's a
wasn't.
solid one.
It's moist. Mm-hmm. It's not too crunchy,
It's
crispy.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Like,
look at.
I can't believe people take the time. I mean, to decorate those. I mean, that's truly. I mean, yeah. Thank you. That was good. That's one of my favorites. One because you can eat 6 or 7 of them at a time. And
Yeah,
not feel too bad.
At like 2:00 in the morning. Just
I
get up.
know. So that was your favorite thing. What's your least favorite thing to cook? That like, oh, Kristi's very good at this, but you just don't like cooking it, but people want you to cook it.
Or you don't cook it because you hate it so much.
That's a good one. I don't know. I think it depends on. I don't know the time. I don't know. I guess I don't
Okay.
really have a good answer for you. I mean, there are things. I don't
Yeah.
mean,
Sure.
mean
Right.
it like there's nothing, but no.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. People be like, "Oh, can you have a baked potato?" Stuff like that. I hate it so
Yeah.
bad. I think probably one of my biggest weaknesses always, like everybody, like in the chef world, everybody has their stations that they mostly work, like saute or grill or whatever. And that's where my partner kind of takes up the slack is he's a much better grill cook than I am. I guess I like grilling, don't get me wrong, but that's probably the one side of things where I'm not as proficient as maybe I should be or fast as I should be.
Sure.
Well, it's always nice to have that partner who complements your weaknesses, or you
Sure.
know, like
Yeah.
whether you like it, but he's better at it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Right. Like
You're better at other things.
right. Like during quarantine last
that?
spring, like they were having such a huge like hog crisis, like all these like hogs were being just killed without, the
Yeah.
farmers were kind of screwed. They had nowhere. So we had bought a hog and then ended up butchering it it was for our house or whatever, but like we ended up butchering it in our backyard.
Yeah.
In town, we
Right.
live like in town. And I know the neighbor's like dad, it was like, yeah. And the neighbor, like one of our neighbor's dad, like he walked out and he was like mowing the lawn or whatever. And he's like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah.
And we're like, I was like, "Oh, we're
Feeding
doing this."
my
But
family.
inside I was like, "Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Why don't you come over here and I'll show you?
Yeah. Right.
But that's where he comes into play a little bit better. Like I can do those things, but it takes me like way longer, and he's just way faster at like
Yeah.
butchery of like whole animals and stuff like that.
Well, tell you, I mean, it's not the most fun. That's
No,
for sure.
But I think it's an important thing to know. Like
to know for sure.
I'm not by any
gonna try
means
one of
like a
these.
doomsday prepper, but I'm not
Right.
like opposed to like I want to know all of
Yep.
those like old timey skills.
Right.
If I had the potential to someday live off the grid, like that would
You
be
pick
great.
someone
You'd
to
have-
live
you'd have
with
the
that
skills
could
to do it.
Yeah.
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 Next up, looks like some type of caramely thing.
Toffee
Yes.
caramely thing.
Toffee caramely.
Yep.
This is usually right up my alley.
Good luck to my fillings. Just kidding. I don't have any, but
Yep, that's my jam there.
I was picturing caramel, and I'm not a huge caramel fan. Mm-hmm. But toffee, that's great.
Yep.
Man, that's
Like a
really
Heath
good.
bar.
That's awesome. Jackie, I think that was one of yours. Thank you very much. That was great.
Good job, Jackie.
Woo!
Nice work.
Well, I think just kind of hearing about some of your visions of like what Gather is right now and what you hope it to be or what you want to offer in the future, I think is is exciting because there's certainly never been a shortage of people who have had their issue with restaurant options in this town.
Right.
I, for one, don't think that'll ever go away. I don't think anybody's ever going to say, you know what, we have the perfect amount of restaurants.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that you go someplace and you've been there and you've done that and you go back and you like it.
Yeah.
But then you just want something else.
Right.
Right? You want,
Yeah.
oh, I've been there. I've been
Yeah.
there. Well, so I tend to think and believe that the clamor for more restaurants is always going to be there. But one of the things people do talk about is having that option of kind of the next level of
Right.
of the restaurant experience.
Right.
I love your idea of that event of once or twice a month
Mm-hmm.
of like something really neat and cool.
Yeah.
Because I do think Buffalo could be an event something.
Sure.
City, the whole city. I mean, whether it's our car shows, our kites on ice, or
Yeah.
or whatever, or something that brings them out.
Yeah.
We already do occasional sales.
Yeah.
But I really, really like that idea, and it's something that you don't have to full commit like every Thursday, Friday, Saturday
Right.
to that, but you can plan.
Because it's just too much then. But
Yeah.
like, and you can't, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I've pondered that for so long because there's always the people that are like, you know, why isn't there like a fine dining restaurant? And then you see the, you know, like, you know, people interject, you know, what is fine, what, you know,
Right.
what, and that's
We have a
besides the
Culver's.
point.
Yeah.
Right. And that, you know, that's fine, you know, sure. I don't know if, because the town has had those like kind of places that, I mean, it was like years ago, but never really took off necessarily. And I'm just not 100% sure that we're at a place where you can have a restaurant like that all the time and it's going to be like always busy.
Right.
You know?
As
Yep.
Buffalonians, we like to get out.
Right.
We like to go to Maple Grove.
Right.
Minneapolis. Maybe.
Yeah. And that's fine. I mean, that's
Yeah.
cool. But like, you know, dead of winter, if you wanted to go do something, you know, you don't always want to make that drive and stuff. I like going to Minneapolis too.
Right.
But like, I mean,
Yeah.
plus this town, I think one of the biggest things is like, so I'm part of a couple different things in town, but one of which is the Crow River Food Council, and I have been part of that for quite a while. And what that council does is try to like make connections between like our farmers and institutional food or restaurants, and just trying to like build that knowledge of, you know, buying as much local stuff as you possibly can. So right now, you know, a lot of my vegetables, most of my vegetables and stuff are not, you know, coming locally, but I try to, and I ended up opening later than I wanted to. So, you know, there's some stuff that, you know, that I'm
Sure.
getting from
Yep.
farmers, but come spring and come summer, you know, like I'll definitely be, like we've already been talking about like what seeds, you know, do we want to
Sure.
grow and stuff like that. And we have a farm too. And last year I kind of let it go to, I don't know, to weeds essentially,
Yep.
just because I got too busy. But we always try to grow as much produce as possible as well. And
That's a Tyler garden. Something's growing.
yeah, like
That's not a vegetable, though.
every year, you know, we did 2 acres and it was so gorgeous for the longest period of time. And then it just got,
That's a huge garden.
yeah, it's out at my dad's farm. We take a couple acres of that. And then, you know, we grow like weirder stuff, but, you know, we'll grow our weirder stuff for out here. You know, we grow okra and
Sure.
loofah, like loofah gourds, like the loofahs that you use
thinking
for the
like-
shower. Yeah, no, that's what, yeah. But not like the plastic ones.
Right.
Like there's
Right.
a gourd that it dries out. And
Can you eat that?
you can eat it when it's younger, but once it dries out, then it's like
It's
used for like
gourds.
soap making or like,
Sure.
you know, stuff,
know.
you know, try to grow crazy stuff like that. Edible flowers, lots of herbs.
I'm curious for you guys to try one of these. This is from these are from my mom.
Are they meringues?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yep.
Bo.
Oh, Bijo? It's a hard J.
Bijo.
Bijo.
Sorry.
We grew up with these, and I know they're not everybody's favorites, but in my family, they
Yeah,
are.
I love them. Yeah.
They're tasty.
Yeah.
They take forever to make, but
Oh, yeah.
I could eat it. You could eat a lot of them.
Yeah.
it's probably why we like them.
Meringues are hard to do, too, because you have to have that right temperature oven, you know?
And then leave it overnight.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if
It's
it's a
tough.
little too warm, they're done.
Yeah. Agreed. Oh, let's see. Mark. Oh, yeah, yours are on there. What next?
How many more?
I don't know. Well,
Who made these ones?
That is
are
Eric
great.
Olson, or his wife probably made it. I don't know
Nice.
if Eric
Eric.
cooks.
I bet it was Eric.
He can be the sprinkle guy. He can be the sprinkle guy. But I definitely want to end with one of those chocolate chip cookie ones.
Okay.
Because we, again, we talked earlier, is chocolate chip cookies are maybe the Cadillac of cookies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the gold standard.
Right. Yeah.
It's like chocolate chip.
Everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
Christmas cookies land somewhere in here.
Right.
But I think it's the nostalgia of Christmas cookies and then, but you know, when we end with chocolate chip, before I run out of milk, I haven't had one of these in forever. I'm going to taste it. I was so glad somebody dropped these off, that cornflake wreath.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pumped up about that.
With the red hots, those are great.
Yep, and you can tell an adult decorated this
Yeah.
because there's not 900 red hots.
There's not 3 very strategically placed.
Right.
I love it.
I've been eating way too many of these last 2 days. So
I do love kids when they decorate Christmas cookies, though, because, like, I always have royal icing set up, and man, those kids just, like, it's like a layer like that, and be like, Santa does not want to eat that.
right.
Yeah.
Like, gross.
Santa's already diabetic.
Yeah.
We don't want to kill him. But yeah, no, I love these. And as soon as we shut these cameras off, I'm totally eating the rest of these.
Yeah.
But I kind of wanted to get through. Do you call them Russian tea cakes or butter balls? Those
Yeah.
things.
No. Yeah. I guess Russian tea cakes. Sometimes I hear them called Mexican wedding cakes. Aren't those about the same?
I've never heard it called Mexican wedding cake, but
I've heard it.
I kind of like that.
Maybe
I've
that's
never
not
heard
the
any of
exact
these 3.
same. My mom used to make those when I was a kid, but I don't think I've ever made them. I mean, I know what they are, but yeah. But I swear she used to call them Mexican wedding cakes, but maybe they're slightly different. But I've seen like old-timey cookbooks with, the recipes for that, so it's not like a derogatory. It's like,
right.
you just gave me this look
It's like part of the country. I mean,
Yeah.
It's like, I know. Yeah. It's boy, skew down that.
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm not trying to.
Oh, and if people are listening this long, we're not losing them over this. If they haven't shut us off by then. Well, what's big for coming in 2021 for Gather?
I'm thinking about a food truck maybe, which is what I was thinking about in the first place before Loaf and Ladle, before that space was available. I was like knee deep in a business plan for a food truck, and I had been for a while. And the thing about food trucks is you have to have a commissary, you have to have a kitchen to work out of anyway. And then I was like, well, this kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. And then so I just put the food truck on hold. And the whole point of the food truck was to be able to go out to farms and then offer, those farmers that, grow produce or, meat products or whatever, if they wanted to do a farm dinner, then I can offer my services as both a chef and a kitchen. So
Sure.
if they wanted to have like a dinner on the farm, like we did a big one time out at my dad's, a dinner on the farm when I was working for a restaurateur in Minneapolis. It's so fun. It's so fun to do dinners on the farm. Like we had like that one that we did, it was like 150 people, and you put up a big tent, and we had had 2 lambs butchered, so we had those on like a spit. So they were like roasting or whatever, and then my friend Sarah, my friend, she's a chef. She was a chef in Minneapolis at the time too. So she came out and we kind of did it all together. And the point is to use as much product from the farm as possible. So then, then you got a band with it. And then Hayes Pugs came out and did like beer, like had, kegs going or whatever. You have a band, you have food, you have a tent. Like it was like
you should do that.
Like, those are the moments where I'm like, well, no, I mean, doing those kind of, and there was a company that was this lady I know that she had the company called Dinner on the Farm, and she would pick, a chef, and she would pick a farm and, like, pick a band, pick a, brewery or whatever, and it was all within the local area. And I was like, and I'd been to a few of them, I've done a few of them, and I'm like, this, like, it's just like that connecting moment where I'm like, I could do this for the rest of my life. Like, this could be the exact thing that I would want to do forever, always. They're so much fun. Like, you just get to feel so connected with the land.
Right.
And I know my dad, and my dad's, he's been a farmer forever, an 80-year-old farmer, and he was like, well, I don't know, about these fancy Minneapolis people coming out and going, what are they going to think about all this machinery and stuff? I'm like, they love that.
Right.
It's like that, like, rustic chic, It's like,
Yeah.
damn, it's just all broken down.
They won't know what it's for.
Yeah. Be like, is that a little dryer out there? Probably.
Yeah, it is. It's actually.
Sure is.
Yeah.
But they were like, oh, this is great, And it is really magical. I mean, to be out in that setting where, then the sun's coming down and, the summertime and all the flowers are out and you have bands playing and, you can have some nice local beers and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Pretty fun.
I really like that idea.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping you guys couldn't hear me crunching. Because I can hear it in my headphones. That chocolate chip cookie.
Top notch.
I
It's
do
the
think
chocolatiest chocolate chip cookie.
it's done.
I just baked them are those for me?
Yeah,
Are
it's
those
done exactly how I like them.
Which should be a little gooey inside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the outside is crispy.
crunch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's,
That was good.
Yeah, I baked them just before I came here, so.
Nice.
I'm actually so glad we didn't get like 20 more people submitting cookies.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm done.
I'm about tapped out
I
right
am
now.
too.
Yeah. I am going to
too.
eat one of these. These are my
Absolutely.
jam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really love them.
I'm surprised you didn't get any of, like, the pecan pie. Like, where they have the little cups and then it's the little tiny pecan pies. Mm-hmm. Those are great.
I think this is just a really nice array of everything. I mean, it was a few from each category, I think. I don't think we're really missing anything. I mean, I think we're maybe like a chocolate dip pretzel, but it's a chocolate dip pretzel.
Right.
That looks like a snowman.
Yeah.
Or reindeer.
Those are my favorite, though. Like almond bark and pretzel.
Yeah.
With, like, some, like, crushed candy canes on top. That's our family jam.
Yeah. It actually, because I'm going to have my daughter watch this. She made these.
Aw.
I'm going to.
Yeah,
These must be tried, then.
Best one of them all.
Oh my gosh, Emma. Santa Claus is going to love those.
Yeah.
I like them.
This is brownies.
Well, like the Christmas crinkle cookie, but yeah. I
Did
like
she
them a
use
little.
brownie mix?
No, we made that. She's 8 and wants to be a cook or a bake. A cooker
Yeah, a cooker.
or a baker when she grows up.
Yeah.
But I like them how they turn out more like brownies versus crispy cookies.
Yeah.
For these specific ones.
These are great.
Thank you. That's from a professional chef, Emma. Mm-hmm. So when you're listening to this, I make them listen to the podcast every night before they go to bed.
That's saying a lot. A professional, I don't know. Like, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
How can people get food from Gather?
Call in and place an order or stop in. I know I have not completely gotten done with my website yet, and I know that's been a big hiccup. That I have people sometimes that are kind of angry about not feeling like they know how to order or whatever. I mean, just call in if you don't know the menu, I will happily read it off to you or send you a copy of it or, you know.
And it's posted on your social media, on your Facebook
It
pages.
is.
It does change periodically, but it seems like there's some staples.
I've been keeping it about the same.
Okay.
I'm pretty happy with it. And just as far as like what you're getting for produce and stuff, like right now isn't really varied. So I was
Sure.
And I'm, you know, everything that I have on there is pretty wintry, seasonal, so I'll leave it.
Turkey Rachel's elite.
She laughs.
It's very good.
I'm looking forward to it. I want to have breakfast there this week. What time do you open?
10 a.m.
Ooh, that's late for.
I know.
That'd be second breakfast, first lunch for me.
It is.
But,
it is late. I just, you know, right now there's no way I can do it earlier than what I'm already going. So.
Well, I appreciate. Welcome to the business world in downtown Buffalo.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us on judging other people's Christmas cookies.
Yeah.
I think everybody did great. Again,
Yeah.
I probably can't eat supper tonight, but
Yeah.
that's all
Can you
right.
take a nap?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Crap.
Cancel the rest of my appointments.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going to take a nap, shut these lights off.
Tyler, leave.
No, he's got a hammock in his office now.
She's sleeping.
But I guess for the Buffalo Community Podcast, well, let's do Christmas music outro. For the Buffalo Community Podcast, I'm Tyler Reiss with Edina Realty.
I'm Mark Benzer with Country Financial.
And I'm Kristi Varner, owner of Gather.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.